Right now on IUSTV News, after multiple incidents last year and an increase in security, 2 people were found sleeping in Franklin Hall last Monday.
Plus, with Halloween right around the corner, what you can do to keep safe during the big weekend.
And we get a behind-the-scenes look of how IUPD keeps students and visitors safe during homecoming weekend.
And we're going to be seeing beautiful temperatures all weekend.
Another school year, another run of incidents involving unhoused people in Franklin Hall. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Badrov.
And I'm Lilly Pierce. You're watching IUSTV News. You might remember last year there were several incidents in the building that caused the media school to change building safety measures.
And it turns out those changes are being put to the test once again. Our Carson Johnson is here to explain. Carson?
That's right, guys. As the winter months inch closer, that means colder weather is coming. And when it comes to the unhoused community, some might be searching for a place to beat the cold. 2 unhoused people were found sleeping in the basement of Franklin Hall last Monday. Assistant Building Manager Darla Crawford called IUPD Monday morning after she found the 2 sleeping near the game design suite.
And 3 officers came to escort him out, but he'd been here for many hours is what he said, so.
IUPD officers removed the pair from the building, but media school staff and students want more to be done to prevent similar incidents in the future.
But I feel like that's something like maybe after a certain time of night, the building just completely locks down and doesn't open up until early next morning.
This is the first notable incident with unhoused individuals in Franklin Hall this year. Following a string of incidents last school year, the side doors to Franklin Hall were locked for Crimson Card only access, but the main doors to the building remain locked from 7:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. Even with the side doors locked and security increased, it is still easy for intruders to get in and overstay their welcome. If the issue persists, the media school will have to come up with new ways to ensure security. In the meantime, media school students who see anything suspicious are asked to call IUPD as soon as possible. If you see anything suspicious in Franklin Hall or any IU building, you're asked to call police. In studio, Carson Johnson, IUSTV News. Mike, back to you.
All right, Carson, thank you. IU police are searching for the man they say sexually assaulted 3 women at a frat party last week. Police do not know the suspect but have a description of the person. We're told a third-party security worker was working an event at a frat house on North David Baker. The assault was reported by 3 women who said it happened between 9 and 10 on Thursday night. Police said the suspect is a black male between 18 and 30 years old and worked for a company known to IU. One of the women said the assault went farther than the first time. IU police tell us this is an ongoing investigation and the security company contract is holding while police investigate. If you know any information, you are asked to call IUPD at the number on your screen.
And with Halloween right around the corner, IU police are sharing tips to keep in mind to stay safe over what is typically a busy party weekend. When it comes to costumes, you're encouraged to not wear face coverings that block your ability to see the environment around you. Also, be careful with costumes that fake weapons may cause unintended panic to others and police. The biggest thing to remember, police say, is understanding Indiana's Lifeline law, which protects minors from alcohol charges when calling police for a medical emergency.
We generally see a higher spike in alcohol-related calls over the Halloween time, so possession and consumption, as well as like medical calls related to alcohol. So really just take care of each other, know your limits, plan for a safe ride to and from wherever you're going, and just be a good neighbor and keep everybody safe.
All right, now let's get a check of that weather. It's been a beautiful week here in Bloomington so far, starting with the Nebraska game on Saturday, just nice and sunny. But Lily, I know you have some different thoughts.
It has been nice, but I will say that I'm ready for some cold weather. I want to wear my sweaters. Grace, what do you have for us?
Yes, well, I have some good news for you. You can wear your sweater this week because we're going to be seeing some really nice temperatures. Here in Bloomington, we're seeing about 72 degrees, but over here in these parts of Indiana, they're seeing 76, 75. So we're lucky that it's slowly cooling down here in Bloomington. Perfect time to see all the fall leaves. Going to bed tonight, we're going to see temperatures at 65 at 9 p.m., 63 at 12 a.m., and by the time we get to 3 a.m., it's going to fall to 61. So nothing too crazy, but definitely starting to see those cooler nights. Tomorrow morning, going to work, school, or on the bus, 6 a.m., we're going to see 58 degrees. 7 a.m., it's falling a tad bit to 56, and then 55 at 8 a.m. Coming up, we're going to be staying warm this week. Luckily, nothing too cold. It's not winter yet, guys. And we're also going to be looking at the game day forecast for next weekend. Should be seeing some really good temperatures, but we will be cooling down soon.
It's a spooky season in Bloomington, but healthcare scares can be shaken away with the arrival of a new free student outreach clinic that aims to help those in need of trusted care. The IU Medical School has partnered with IU Health on a student-driven project aimed at bringing free professional health care to those in need of help, especially the LGBTQ+ community in the Bloomington area. Dr. Cassandra Dishman-Kessler, a primary care physician, is a volunteer doctor for this project and is pleased with the outcome of the first day.
My job as a whole is very fulfilling on a daily basis anyways. Everyone that was here today chose to be here. So the patients that reached out to us wanted to be here, right? They trusted us to provide them good care. The students all really want to be here and they're really passionate about it.
Set clinic date is November 10th and you can find them at 302 South Rogers Street in Bloomington.
Some good news if you take Indiana Avenue, both lanes are now back open to traffic. This is after months of closures and lane restrictions since February for the Clear Creek Culvert project. Workers replaced the existing underground limestone tunnel built in the 1900s. There's now a new and larger concrete tunnel to help prevent future flooding.
The city has chosen the public art display that will find a home in Bloomington's newest neighborhood. The artwork Undulate by artist John Rasick will go in Hopewell Commons in the future Hopewell neighborhood. Rasick was one of 4 finalists who submitted proposals in March. He is the founder and program director of the comprehensive design at the Eskenazi School. Installation is set for this coming summer.
Indiana Hoosier legend John Mellencamp was honored with a statue on IU's campus over homecoming weekend. The ceremony took place on Friday at the North Garden of the IU Auditorium. Hundreds of fans were in attendance to watch Mellencamp speak and sing some of his biggest hits. University dignitaries attended the event, as did Mellencamp's closest friends and family. Mellencamp performed fan favorites Small Town and Jack and Diane as his band joined him on the stage for the memorable moment. Before unveiling the bronze statue, President Pamela Whitten recognized Mellencamp's numerous contributions to the university.
This statue will stand as a reminder of his contributions and as an inspiration to future generations of Hoosiers. So thank you, John, for your music, and thank you for your passion and commitment to Indiana and to the university.
The John Mellencamp statue is the 8th statue on Indiana University's campus, as he joins an exclusive list of Hoosiers who have made the greatest impact for the university. It's the final sprint to Election Day, both presidential candidates packing in multiple events in crucial swing states with just 14 days left to win over voters.
CNN's Priscilla Alvarez has more.
Tonight, Vice President Kamala Harris targeting a small but potentially decisive group of voters, Republicans turned off by former President Donald Trump. With 15 days left, Harris is focused on vote-rich counties in the key swing states of Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, making an aggressive bid to win over independents and moderate Republicans, with Liz Cheney by her side. Harris started her day in the Philadelphia suburb of Chester County with a warning about the danger Trump poses.
There are things that he says that will be the subject of skits and laughter and jokes. But words have meaning coming from someone who aspires to stand behind the seal of the President of the United States.
The vice president's swing includes populous suburban areas like Waukesha County outside of Milwaukee, a longtime GOP stronghold where the Harris team believes they can make inroads. Biden lost the county in 2020, but performed better than any Democrat in decades. Harris is trying to appeal to those undecided and persuadable voters in places like Oakland County, Michigan, outside of Detroit, including those who backed Nikki Haley in the Republican primary.
I hope and I pray that we, the American people, understand not only what is at stake for us in this election, but how much we mean to the rest of the world.
Monday's moderated conversations centered on a second Trump term, serving as a warning to voters. Harris has been sharpening her attacks on Trump, frequently casting him as, quote, unstable and unhinged, including taking aim at what she described as Trump's off-script moments.
Generally, for the life of him, cannot finish a thought. And he has called it the weave. But I think we here will call it nonsense.
She's also resorted to near rapid response of her Republican rival, including his profane criticism of her time as vice president.
So you have to tell Kamala Harris that you've had enough, that you just can't take it anymore. We can't stand you. You're a vice president. The worst.
Harris responding on MSNBC.
It demeans the office. And I have said, and I'm very clear about this, Donald Trump should never again stand behind the seal of the President of the United States. He has not earned the right.
Polls continue to show the race as a dead heat, with exactly 2 weeks to go until Election Day. IUSTV is your home for the 2024 election. We will have you covered on all the latest headlines up and on Election Day. You can find more at IUSTV.com. Then, on Election Night, you can catch us live on YouTube and Facebook starting at 7 p.m. Eastern.
A community book fair with a goal of helping give back.
Still ahead, we take you to the Monroe County Fairgrounds where buying books may just help feed a family. Plus, a former Abercrombie & Fitch CEO and former employee have been arrested. We'll tell you why.
But first, with IU football now selling out home games weekly, how are IU police adapting to the change? We take you behind the scenes of homecoming security preps on the other side of the break.
Bigger hype for the IU football team means bigger crowds in Memorial Stadium.
Now, as Hoosier fans sell out all remaining home games, what does that mean from a security standpoint? Our Ashton Hackman followed along IU police to find out.
Game days, an early morning for the IU Police Department.
We're making sure that the venue is safe, but we're making sure that our crowds are safe and that everybody feels welcome.
5 hours till kickoff, over 100 IU police officers and members from other departments work a typical home game.
We're going to field the best team out there from the IU public safety aspect of it. We have our team here. We have the Indiana State Police here assisting us. We're looking forward to welcoming everyone here, and for us, it's about a customer service approach.
From roll call straight to traffic control, officers block off certain streets and help keep pedestrians moving, especially during team escorts.
It's different, but it's not. The basics of it are the same. It's just a matter of making some adjustments for the volume of people and the problems that we may expect to encounter.
Sergeant Will Keaton oversees game day operations for IUPD. He says the sold-out crowds haven't changed the game plan for security.
But in general, it's basically the same. It's just on a larger scale. We had to scale everything up a little bit.
Before kickoff, IUPD K-9 Indy and his handler Officer Robert Botts do a sweep of the stadium.
We don't ever want to find anything, actually. We want to go our whole career and never find anything that we had to put out for training.
High atop the press box, officers look out over the busy intersections below, and during the game help give a bird's eye view to officers and the crowd.
Frequently, calls in the stands that if you're on the ground, all you can see is a crowd of people, and we can see a lot better up here.
IU Police also gets a better view here at the Emergency Operations Center.
It's just incredibly helpful to have all of the collaboration and partnerships in this room, just sitting shoulder to shoulder.
Utilizing drones, in-stadium security cameras, and officers on the ground, first responders can get to an emergency in minutes, something that is still possible even with a sold-out stadium.
More fans means potentially more work for us, but that's okay. So we still have the same great partnerships regardless of how many fans are in the stadium.
IU Police look to utilize their safety plans once again this Saturday.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
As IU faces Washington in front of another sold-out Memorial Stadium. In Bloomington, Ashton Hackman.
Would you prefer a bacon or sausage?
IUSTV News.
Now during the game, you can help out IU police by reporting anything suspicious. IU football kicks off at noon on Saturday.
Former CEO of Abercrombie & Fitch, Mike Jeffries, has been arrested on sex trafficking-related charges. On Tuesday, Jeffries and 2 other associates were arrested. They allegedly ran a sex trafficking scheme between 2008 and 2015. Both were accused of recruiting men who wanted to become models and giving them drugs and alcohol at sex-themed parties. The initial court appearance will take place in a federal court in Florida next Tuesday.
Ahead of the holiday season, Target is slashing prices on thousands of items. More than 2,000 home goods, beauty products, toys, and foods and beverages will see lower prices. Some price drops have already began, but Target will continue discounting items all through December. This is the second price drop Target has done to try and combat inflation-weary shoppers. The discounts have helped increase customer spending after a string of dreadful quarters for the company.
A helicopter crashed into a radio tower, knocking it to the ground in Houston, Texas. 4 people, including a child, died in the Sunday night crash. A local city council member said the aircraft was a private touring helicopter.
General Motors is on track for record earnings in 2024. The automaker reported stronger than expected third quarter earnings with $3.4 billion in profit. Revenue rose more than 10% to nearly $49 billion. That is way more than forecasts projected considering the costly United Auto Workers Union strike last year. GM has raised its earning outlooks for the rest of the year.
In a heartwarming twist straight from the silver screen, Paddington Bear has received a real British passport. It's a part of a promotional campaign for the new film, Paddington in Peru, which sees the bear returning to his homeland for a new adventure. The film's co-producers said they requested a passport replica, but to their surprise, British authorities issued Paddington an official passport. Paddington in Peru hits U.S. theaters on January 17th.
Hoosier Hills Food Bank is hosting the 40th annual Bloomington Community Book Fair. Our Gabe Pontones has more from the fairgrounds.
The Monroe County Fairgrounds is playing host to the 40th annual Hoosier Hills Book Fair. The event is a fundraiser hosted by Hoosier Hills Food Bank that takes profits from donated books and gives back to the community.
We sell the books out here for really low prices, and all that money comes back into our programs and helps us be able to deliver and distribute food to our 6-county service area.
This area includes Brown, Lawrence, Owen, Orange, Martin, and Monroe counties, and people from all over the area come back time and time again to the book fair, sometimes more than once a day.
It amazes me that people just find so much to where they come back multiple days to buy things, whether that be for different deals or they just weren't able, there's just the sheer amount of stuff that we have, they weren't able to check it all out the first day.
So much inventory means a lot of setup. One staff member shares their experience preparing for the event.
Well, if you look around this entire warehouse and the warehouse after that, we didn't even have tables in here. We had to bring in everything, the tables, all the merchandise, all the books and everything like that. And then our decorations, it took us a whole week just to set it all up.
Books are not the only thing they sell. The fair also has a wide variety of music, movies, and merch for sale. The money spent on books like these can be used for a wide variety of different things, such as food that can be purchased for the food bank, upkeep of facilities as well as expenses, and salaries for employees. Last year's book fair helped Hoosier Hills bring in over $95,000, and this year they hope it'll be even bigger.
That was our Gabe Pontones reporting. Admission to the event is free and runs through October 22nd. For more information, visit hhfoodbank.org. Next on IUSTV News, how can parents keep teen drivers safe as they begin to drive? All the tips to know in today's Health Minute.
Plus, how is the rest of the week looking? Grace has the forecast on the other side of the break.
It's Teen Drivers Week.
In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has tips on how parents can keep teen drivers safe on the road.
can be dangerous, even deadly. In 2022, more than 2,500 people were killed in crashes involving young drivers ages 15 to 18.
So there are a lot of options for parents who want to keep their teen drivers safe.
Dr. Manisha Agarwal with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta says teaching a teen to drive safely starts before they're even old enough to get a license. She says parents need to set an example for their child.
Don't text and drive. Always buckle your seatbelt. Make sure that when you're driving, you are paying attention to the road and you're not participating in risky activities like speeding or tailgating.
Once they're old enough to get behind the wheel, Agarwal says teens should practice as much as possible with parents next to them in the vehicle.
We also know that things like parent-teen driving contracts can make a huge difference in keeping teens safe.
That's a way for parents to set rules and expectations for a licensed teenage driver, including night driving restrictions, restricting passengers, prohibiting phones and devices while driving, and requiring seatbelt use at all times. And Agarwal says it's also important to abide state graduated driver licensing laws.
Follow that rule. We know that when teens drive late at night, when they're driving with more than one passenger, those are all things that increase their risk of getting in a crash.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
And now turning to weather, I'm so glad that the temperatures are finally going to start cooling down.
Me too. That sky cam is just absolutely gorgeous. There's a few clouds, but nothing too crazy. It's really nice out there.
It is beautiful.
Grace, can you give us the rest of the forecast for the week, please?
Yes, I definitely can. We're looking at beautiful, in my opinion, temperatures for tomorrow. 70 at noon. We're starting the day at 55. It's going to be a really quick warm up, about 15 degrees in just a few hours. And then by 4 p.m., we're going to be at 75. We're going to be seeing high temperatures all over Indiana, 76 in Bloomington, but down south, we're seeing 78 in Bedford and Washington. Over here in Brookville, we're seeing 76 and 77 down south. Now, for the weekend, this is what everybody's wondering, if it's going to be nice for the football game, and I'm happy to say that it is. We're going to see partially cloudy, nothing too much. There's not going to be any rain in the 60s range, 65 by 4 p.m. In the morning, it's going to be a little cool, 47. So if you plan on camping out to watch ESPN, make sure you have a jacket. Then looking ahead to our 7-day forecast, Wednesday, we're looking at a high of 76 with a few clouds. Pretty sunny throughout the week until we get to the weekend. Friday through Sunday, it's going to be a little cloudy, but nothing too crazy. It's going to be a pretty good Halloween weekend if you consider this weekend Halloween weekend, which I do. I think both weekends are
I do as well. 65 and sunny sounds absolutely perfect.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Same here. And now next in sports, a homecoming like no other. IU football continues on, now 7-0 on the season. Allie has a recap in sports. Stay with us.
It was a dominating weekend in men's sports as both the Hoosiers football and soccer teams broke records. I'm Allie Hom and we'll start with football. This past weekend, the Hoosiers faced off against Nebraska's team with only one loss and who ranked number 13 nationally in total defense. The Huskers were the only team nationally who had not given up a rushing touchdown. The Hoosiers scored 5 on the day. Nebraska only had given up 8 touchdowns in its first 6 games, and Indiana scored 8 on 12 possessions. Quarterback Curtis Rourke played the first half, completing 17 out of 21 passes for 189 yards and a touchdown before leaving the game with a thumb injury. Backup Tyreen Jackson stepped in and went 7 for 8 for 91 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Hoosiers are now ranked number 13 and face off against Washington this Saturday here at home. College game day is on the way. Catch Corso, Hertzman, Sabin, Howard, and Pat McAfee this weekend in Bloomington for the first time ever as number 13 IU takes on Washington. As Hoosier fans are more pumped than ever about football program, there is similar hype for our men's, women, and basketball team. IU women led Seymour native Terry Morin in her 11th season at IU, brings back multiple starters and sharpshooter transfers Shea Sietsky, who beat out Sydney Parrish in the women's three-point contest Friday night. Sketsy comes to IU shooting 39% from behind the arc to pair with her another sharpshooter in Sydney Parrish. IU men's basketball, led by Mike Woodson, was able to showcase their talent as they added 3 transfers and 1 high school recruit. Sophomore Mackenzie Mbako led all scorers with 12 points, including a 3-point buzzer beater to the end of the scrimmage in a tie. Indiana men's soccer celebrated head coach Todd Yeagley's 200th victory with a 3-1 win over Michigan State on October 18th, extending their unbeaten streak to 7 games. Goals from Justin Wias and Pat McDonald put IU ahead, with Samuel Server stealing the win in the second half. This victory positions the Hoosiers to 7-3-5 and 5-1-2 Big Ten atop of Big Ten standings. Yeagley, the winningest coach in the NCAA Division I since 2010, has led Indiana to a national title and 10 Big Ten championships. The team will next face UCLA on October 25th. And for the latest on all things IU sports, be sure to tune in each week to Hoosier Sports Night. You can catch it Thursdays on IUSTV. And that's all for sports. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Allie. Yes, we're doing very good in football. Honestly, I haven't gone to any games, though.
Oh my gosh, what?
I know I haven't. I don't know why I haven't.
Shocking.
I'm planning to, though.
Yeah, what in the world? Well, this weekend would be a great game for you to go to because ESPN's going to be there. And also, we're going to have some really good weather Friday through Sunday. We're looking at temperatures to the 75 to high 60 range. It's going to be partially cloudy, but nothing too crazy. The lows, we're looking at 50, 45, and 38, so nothing too chilly. Maybe a little chilly in the morning when you're waiting for ESPN, but other than that, it's going to be great.
Perfect.
Thank you for that news. I will be sure to pack warm.
Yes, please.
And thank you for watching IUSTV News.
For updates between newscasts, check out IUSTV.com, and we look forward to seeing you back here on Monday. Take care.